Alright, so this is a rear end out of a 2015 Cadillac CTS, and as you can see, it was not happy. That's material from the inside. It has these massive snap rings on it that are very strong, that hold these, so the cone comes in on this side, it slips in there, and then the clip goes in this groove and holds these in. So there's really no way to set the backlash on this thing, but as you can see, where the bearings have worn into the race, I guess this would be called the race. I mean, it's conical and whatnot. So I bought a new one right there, got it in, I pulled it in. It should have been a 1-hour job, and pull this thing out, put them side by side, looking at everything over, and everything looked correct. And but then these side pieces right here that the axles bolt to is completely different. So these have the snap ring in them, so I pulled this one apart and popped these out to see if they would interchange, and they don't interchange. 27 spline, but I measured the OD of them, and these are a little bit larger diameter, so they wouldn't go in. This thing's absolutely foobar, so I was like, well, I've got to see how it comes apart. So it's got these massive seals on the side, and like I say, it's just the pinion was real loose in it. I don't know if you can see how tore up it is right there. You can see where it's the bearings, which is weird. I've never seen one like this with the dual ball bearing thing. It's pretty neat, but you can see the little balls on this thing are just tore up. So I mean, the pinion was pretty loose in it, and it has a perfect. Well, you can see it right there on the race, how messed up the surface is on both sides. I mean, it was just, as soon as well, this was my Cadillac before I bought my wife a Lexus. She's got a 2017 RX 350. I got her, and then I wanted a Cadillac CTS-V, but I couldn't afford one, so I got this thing, and this is a performance package, and this thing's pretty quick. It's got paddle shift, 8-speed. It's a 3.6, and I like the fact that it was rear-wheel drive. This thing gets like 30 miles to the gallon, and it sits nice. And it's got heads-up display. It's a really nice car, and like I say, after I got her Lexus, she didn't want to put miles on her Lexus, so she took my Cadillac. And until recently, finally got me a CTS-V, and she told me it was time to change the oil in this thing. So I didn't even make it out of the garage to pull it up here to put on the lift to change the oil in it, and I just heard and I was like, this rear end is trashed. So then I had to ask her how long has it been making this noise, and she didn't know. So it happens when I don't get to drive a vehicle. I guess I need to drive all of them every now and then so I can check them out. But I don't know what this rear end is. It's a 285 ratio, and it just seems like a throwaway unit. I looked it up on Car Dash Part, and it used one of these stupid things as $2,000, and that one was about $900 delivered, and it came with in a box truck thing. It didn't come FedEx or UPS, I guess, because it's pretty heavy. So anyway, I'm glad I checked it out, because like I say, the side pieces, just the bolt pattern was smaller on that one, and that one's a 285. I guess that's for ATS or something. I'm not sure, but like I say, I counted the splines on both of them, and they're the same spline, and then I measured the OD, and I tried to fit it first and it wouldn't go, and then I measured it and counted, and sure enough, it didn't fit. So, but you got a big pinion nut there, and then you got this goes on there, and is left hand thread and goes right here and holds the pinion in. So this is the outer pinion bearing. It goes up top here, but I've never seen the bearing set up like that, and anything but probably why it failed. Yeah, you can see how, look at the the balls on there, how ate up they are. Man, they are tore up. So I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Of course, now I'm really screwed because I took it apart. And I mean, I just don't know. I would buy a rebuild kit for it, but I don't know, with that much play in the pinion, the pinion will come into the ring gear, and then it mashes the ring gear, and then it screws up your pattern, and then it's gonna roar. And there's nothing worse than a roaring rear end. I did one. I don't know if I did a video on that white Tahoe I had. It was like a 2000 Tahoe, and it was a 4.8, had a 342 in it, and I put a 373 in it out of a guy's truck where the pinion was loose, and set it up, checked the pattern, the in-play and everything, and it was a little bit noisy. I was like, it's not that bad. I was like, I'll deal with it. I drove it up the road. I didn't even make it 2 miles. I turned around and put it back on the lift and took it back out. I tried to re-shim it and reset it up several times, and ended up pulling it out and just destroying it with a hammer so I wouldn't use it again. So I wouldn't be tempted to try to use it in something else. But yeah, bearing noise is not fun. So anyway, this was supposed to be a 1 hour job. Now it's stuck on my lift. And then I've got that truck to do the turbo water feeds to the turbo and EcoBoost. Check the pressures on the Trailblazer, and they're perfect. So Doug said I got to pull it out and send it back to him, which that's unfortunate, because now my other Cadillac, which is my wife's Cadillac now, is stuck on my lift. So last Monday carried over into this Monday, and here we are having more fun. So yeah. So on the V, I was correct in my assertion of I got the plug switch to the temp sensor and the VSS, so I got those on, drove it. Speedometer's working now. I need to put some miles on the clutch before I can take it down to Michael to get the dyno, let him tune it and everything. And this Wednesday I'm supposed to get the LS2  4-bolt silver blade throttle body from my buddy, so I'm excited about that. So, and then I do want to get the cold air intake next time I go to Summit, and I'll see if they got a rebuild kit. I might have to run up there and get a kit for this thing. And then I want to take the X pipe out and put that muffler in there, because it is a little loud and I don't want it that loud. So that's the update on the Cadillacs and this stuff. The 4.3 truck, man, that thing is nice. I love that truck. I drove it. My son helped me wash it, and we loaded the long bed up with all my oil and trash and everything that piles up over here. And he was so happy to ride in that truck. He was just looking out the window and rolling the windows up and down. And he tried to open the door, but he's used to more modern vehicles, so he pulled the door handle on it and pushed on it like you would one of our other cars, and it wouldn't open. And I was like, buddy, this truck's old. I said, you got to put your shoulder into it and push it to get that door open. So, but he really likes that truck. He had a ball in that thing. He was looking out the window and he was just smiling. And of course, as he always tells me, Daddy, please don't sell this one. So we'll see how that turns out. But my other buddy got one of these, well, not a 99 extended cab that was clapped out, and somebody had already got all the goodie they wanted out of it. So he called me to see if there was any goodie left for me to get off of it. So the dash was in good shape, the dash cover, the door handle, a lot of little knick-knack miscellaneous parts. He let me get what I wanted, so that was kind of him to think about me to give me a call. So me and my buddy went over there this morning and just picked that thing clean. We were trying to grab everything off of it we could, because it's probably already crushed by now, but somebody had already taken the engine and trans and the rear end out of it, and it was a GMC, so the front end was messed up on it, and like I say, somebody had already gotten what they wanted off of it, and he let us get the other stuff. So I was glad to get a few parts to put in my stash back here, so when I get one, the door panels and stuff like that, I'll grab them, so I'll have them if I need them. So anyway, I'm gonna try to go figure out what I'm gonna do about this rear end and how I can get some parts and pieces to get this together or source another one. But that's that